Now, imagine a matatu that doesn't choke you with exhaust fumes, that doesn't shake your bones every pothole, and costs 6 times less to run than a diesel bus. Sounds too good for Nairobi, right? But they're already here, and they are multiplying. NTV's Rukia Bule went to find out if this electric revolution can actually survive Kenya's public transport chaos.
If you've been on Nairobi roads lately, you might have spotted these electric buses, or maybe you're riding them frequently. These buses are now slowly integrating into the city's chaotic transport system. We're now on one of the electric buses headed to the Central Business District. The ride is noticeably quieter and smoother. Inside, there's more legroom and portable chargers for passengers, giving it a modern feel compared to traditional buses the Nairobi commuters are used to.
Operation ya hii kama dereva ni rahisi. Hizi hazina clutch, hizi hazina kialiva. It's just to bless kama ndege. Na umeanza safari umeenda.
For many passengers, it's not just about comfort. It's about being part of a cleaner solution to Nairobi's choking traffic emissions.
It's a good initiative for this country. Now with the climate change, this bus doesn't emit any smoke. And that helps us to conserve our environment and our ozone layer. So I think it's something that this country should really take keen interest on.
The demand is already clear, with most of the buses running at full capacity during peak hours, as more commuters opt for the quieter, cleaner alternative. There are at least 75 such buses on Nairobi roads, and Busigo, the company behind most of them, is betting big on Kenya's e-mobility future. They're not alone. Rome Electric, formerly called Opibus, is also selling electric buses and motorcycles right here in Kenya at the Nairobi factory, targeting mass transit and delivery sectors.
From day one, there was a big passenger preference. So when the electric bus came, people would get out of their normal diesel buses and enter. So at the beginning, we felt, okay, this is because it's novel, it's new, it's the shiny new object. But that has continued 3.5 years on.
75 buses is still a drop in the ocean, less than 1% of Nairobi's thousands of matatus. But the numbers tell an interesting story.
There was high demand, and the beginning point was very enjoyable because everyone was looking and was longing to travel through an electric bus. And therefore, the revenue was very high as compared to maintenance costs for the diesel buses.
Here's the physics that makes e-mobility popular. When you burn diesel, about 70 to 80% of the energy is wasted as heat. Electric motors convert over 77% of electrical energy into motion, while diesel engines only convert 12 to 30% of fuel energy to actually move the vehicle. That's how Kenya Power describes it. Plus, electric vehicles recover energy when braking, something that's especially useful in Nairobi's stop-and-go traffic, capturing up to 17% of energy that would otherwise be lost as heat.
If you go somewhere like Valley Road, if you just see how much black soot is on the side of the buildings up Valley Road as those matatus are going there, it just tells you that the one way that we must be able to improve basically our health and the air quality in Nairobi is by electrifying public transport, and even maybe at a future date personal transport.
Hizi gari hazina moshi. Najua kama dereva tunakuwa na homa throughout kwa sababu ya ile moshi ya diesel. So hizi hazinanga moshi.
But here's what's surprising. Commuters aren't just tolerating these buses, they're actively choosing them, even when ordinary matatus are available.
I'd go for an electric bus anytime, any day, because they look safe compared to the other matatus. And also, you see the door is always closed, so there are no cases of someone falling off the electric bus.
Now, for the money part, because that's actually what matters in business, Kenya Power offers e-mobility operators a special tariff, 8 shillings per kilowatt hour during off-peak charging, usually overnight. This applies not just to buses, but to electric motorcycles and other commercial EVs as well. Charging during peak hours will cost 16 shillings per kilowatt hour. Regular Kenyans pay between 18 and 28 shillings per unit for home electricity. This is a 70% discount. This makes the electric bus 6 times cheaper to run. For smaller vehicles like electric motorcycles used in delivery services, the savings are just as big, making them attractive for border operators and logistics companies looking to cut fuel costs. The buses arrive from China as complete knockdown and assemble here.
The buses come in what they call complete knockdown kits. So they are packed for purposes of packing them in these containers, 4 buses or 4 components for 4 buses into a container, so you pack them in 4s. However, the batteries come separately, mainly because of safety standards.
We have been provided with a charging station at Buruburu TJ Center, whereby the electric buses get the car wash, and they also get charged overnight, and if they have any issues, they are diagnosed overnight. So every day we pick our electric buses from TJ. They run throughout the day. That is from 5. They run throughout the day. There are those small ones that needs day charging. There will be added charge around midday, 20 to 30%, and then they run the whole day up to around 11.
For SACCO operators, the appeal is simple.
With the electric bus, there is no oil change, there is no clutch change, there is no regular service. It is the sensor system and the computer system checking on the electric buses.
The buses are leased under a pay-per-kilometer model. SACCOs don't buy them outright. They just pay as they drive. That fee covers everything: charging, servicing, and even the battery warranty.
So what we've done with our innovative financing model, what we call pay as you drive, it allows these operators to start seeing value in as early as 6 months. So from the deposit they put, they start breaking even, some of them as early as 6 months. So they are not waiting for the 10-year to see the total cost of ownership. They're actually seeing.
Early adopters were making bank, up to 40% more profit than diesel bus operators, because passengers will pay premium fares for the better experience.
There was high demand, and the beginning point was very enjoyable because everyone was looking and was longing to travel through an electric bus, and therefore the revenue was very high as compared to maintenance costs for the diesel buses.
But as more electric buses hit the road, that premium started shrinking. Competition is competition, whether it's electric or diesel.
At the end of the day, if the diesel was having a net of 5,000, the electric was having an extra 5,000. But as the buses have increased in Nairobi, this revenue is going down. Right now we are at 30-40% because the revenue has gone down.
Kenya Power says there are at least 300 charging stations across the country, although the coverage hasn't reached every county yet. Charging time at this station can be as little as 30 minutes to a couple of hours, depending on the kind of vehicle and battery capacity. You can charge at home too, but since domestic use power is of lower voltage, you'd need at least 12 hours to reach full charge, and you'd need to use the cooker socket, not just any socket. But operators say, as rosy as everything looks, thorns are there.
If you apply for even direct routes, you find that there are restrictions by NTSA that only restricts you to have an RISL serving only one route. And some of the routes, like Upper Hill, for example, is not a full day route. It is only a morning and evening route.
We spend majority of all foreign exchange goes into importation of oil. And even if you were to reduce that by 10%, you are talking about 50 billion every month, just by 10% reduction of imported fossil fuel. That has a huge effect on our balance of trade, on our forex reserve, basically on the entire economy.
We would prefer, if I'm in town, to be charging from town. The county or the government should give space for free spaces, give free spaces for charging, to construct charging station. And then they combine efforts with the Kenya Power to give transformers, high voltage transformers that will support three-phase for these chargers.
The same challenges face electric motorcycle and taxi operators. Without charging infrastructure spread across the city, range anxiety keeps many potential adopters on the sidelines. Rukia Bule, NTV.